You know that feeling when you're just stuck? Stuck in a frustrating cycle where the same old conflicts with the same people seem to happen over and over again? Well, what if the key to changing all of that wasn't about changing the other person, but about changing something inside of you? Let's dive into a framework that helps us understand exactly that. So, just imagine for a second you walk up to a booth like this. The sign says heart coaching. The whole idea here is that you can actually learn to manage the condition of your heart, kind of like getting driving lessons for a car. It's all about a fundamental way of being that, as we're going to see, changes absolutely everything. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to cover the two fundamental ways of being. Then, we'll explore what it feels like to be connected versus disconnected. After that, I'll introduce you to this really powerful tool called the CTFAR loop, and then we'll use it to break down a real-life story and see how we can completely reshape our experiences. Okay, let's jump right into the core concept. The idea is that while we have countless ways of acting in the world, there are really only two fundamental ways of being, and that is the foundation of what this framework calls our heartset. So what exactly is a heartset? Well, you can think of it like a mindset, but it goes way deeper. It's not just about what you think. It's the actual state of your heart. And that state dictates how you see things, what you think about them, how you feel, and, yeah, what you do next. It's basically the starting point for your entire experience of a situation. And this quote just boils it all down, right? At any given moment, we're in one of two states. We're either really seeing other people, connecting to their reality, or we're just not. There's no middle ground. It's either connected or disconnected. That's it. Simple as that. Okay, so where does this lead? These two states, connected and disconnected, they aren't just some, abstract theory. They are the direct source of the emotions we feel every single day. So let's look at these two inner worlds side by side. When you're in a connected heartset, you see other people as, well, people. You feel a sense of care, peace, maybe even appreciation. But when you slip into a disconnected heartset, other people become objects. They're just things that affect you, your plans, your comfort. And that's when you feel blame, threat, and all that inner turmoil. It's a huge shift in perception. So how can you tell which heartset you're in at any given moment? Well, your emotions are the ultimate giveaway. If you're feeling things like gratitude or care or just calm, that's a pretty good sign you're in a connected state. But on the other hand, if you're feeling that spike of irritation or resentment, or you're getting all defensive, yeah, that's a huge red flag that you've slipped into a disconnected state. Your emotions are basically a litmus test. And this next idea is absolutely crucial. The argument here is that when someone, say, mistreats you, the actual event is only a tiny piece of your suffering. The vast majority of the pain, well, that comes from the story you tell yourself about what happened. It's our own thinking that's really creating most of the turmoil. So if our thinking is the problem, how do we even begin to fix it? Well, that's where this next tool comes in. It's called the CTFAR feedback loop. So here it is, CTFA. Now, it might look pretty simple, but trust me, this is an incredibly powerful way to map out our automatic reactions and finally understand why we keep getting the same results over and over again in our relationships. Okay, let's break it down. First up, C is for circumstance. And this is key. It has to be the totally objective, neutral fact. Just what a camera would record, no spin. Next, T is for thoughts. This is the story, the interpretation you layer on top of that neutral fact. Then F for feelings. These are the emotions that bubble up because of your thoughts. A is for actions. What do you actually do or not do based on those feelings? And finally, R is the result. And here's the wild part. The result you get almost always proves your original thought was right. It's a loop. So to make this real, we're going to look at a case study. It's about a woman named Janet, and she's really frustrated with her husband, Mark, because he keeps coming home late. And we're going to use this CTFAR model to map out what's happening under the surface, her automatic painful reaction. Okay, so let's walk through Janet's loop. The circumstance? It's just a fact. Mark is home late frequently. So what are her thoughts? Well, she's thinking things like, he doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about his family. And those thoughts, of course, create her feelings. She feels rejected, suspicious, maybe a little angry, which then leads to her actions. She gets cold, she's distant, she gives him the silent treatment. And what's the result of all that? Mark shuts down. He withdraws.
Which, if you're Janet, just proves your original thought, right? See? He doesn't care. It's a perfect self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is where it all clicks for Janet. This is her big aha moment. She suddenly sees that her own actions, the A line, are basically pushing Mark to give her a result, the R line, that proves her negative thought, the T line, was true all along. Wow, she's not a victim of this cycle. She's an active participant in creating the very result she hates. This is where things get really powerful. Because once you can see the loop, you have the power to change it. You can move from just reacting on autopilot to building an intentional response. It's all about rewriting that story. And the whole question shifts. It's no longer, how can I get the other person to be different? Instead, it becomes, who do I want to be right now, in this situation? That's where the real power is. It's in choosing your own way of being. So now, let's look at the intentional model. Okay, notice something really important here. The circumstance at the top is exactly the same. Mark is home late. That fact hasn't changed. But look what Janet does. She intentionally chooses a different thought. Something like, you know what? This isn't the end of the world. I'm actually curious about his day. That new thought creates a totally different feeling, right? She feels more grounded, maybe even caring. And that leads to a different action. She actually asks him about his day. And the result? It's a whole new world. It's an invitation for connection instead of a guarantee of conflict. But we can take this one step further. To really, truly break the cycle for good, the next step is to try and understand the human story that's happening on the other side of the equation. This is the empathy shift. So in this example, Janet actually tries to guess what Mark's CTFAR model might look like. So from his perspective, what's the circumstance? It's Janet being quiet and distant when he walks in the door. What might his thoughts be? Maybe he's thinking, I can't do anything right, or I'm such a disappointment. And those thoughts would make him feel defeated, defensive, which would lead him to do what? To shut down, to withdraw. And when you see it that way, wow, suddenly his behavior doesn't seem malicious at all. It's just his own reaction to his own painful story. And that brings us right to the final and maybe most powerful takeaway from all of this. The next time you find yourself stuck in one of these painful loops fueled by a story you're telling yourself about someone else, just stop and ask yourself one simple question. Is that story I'm telling myself really true? Because just asking that question, well, that might be the first most important step you can take to finally rewriting it.